Good morning. It's a beautiful sunny, Jesus. It's beautiful, sunny Saturday morning. I'm testing a route out on the sat-nav. I've been using Basecamp quite a bit and losing most of my hair in the process. I think I've finally got the hang of it. So I've been camping for the weekend, well, pre-weekend, because my days off are funny. And I was intending going to Wales for a few days, but that fell by the wayside due to one thing and another. So I ended up staying fairly local instead. And I'm off now to do a scenic route down to the adventure bike shop, which is just near Sudbury in Suffolk. Not been before, so it'll be interesting to see what it's like. And as I say, I've done a scenic route. It's a bit disappointing. I was really looking forward to going to Wales because the roads look spectacular and the scenery as well. And Norfolk and Suffolk are lovely, don't get me wrong. But it's really not the same as Wales or Scotland or even Yorkshire really. You know, the roads up there I think are much nicer. Anyway, I'll just touch on, well done, I'll just touch on a bit of camping gear. My tent, to be exact, I use a Coleman Tatra 3, and I think they've been discontinued now. I've had it for quite a few years. And never had an issue with it, apart from when I first put it up, two of the poles bent, two of the sections of the long poles. It's a sort of semi-geodesic dome tent design, and I bought it primarily because they're stable, and I wanted a 3 because it's nice to have a bit of extra room. But the main thing I want to just touch on with it is how well it stood up to weather, because this thing only cost me about 100 quid when it was brand new. It cost about 100 quid, so you probably wouldn't expect too much of it. And it's been out, you know, I've been out in the rain in it before and never had an issue, but the last 2 days particularly, the thunderstorms we've had, I've not seen rain like it for quite a while. And if you're in the Norfolk, Suffolk area, or even perhaps further afield, and had the same storms yesterday, you'll know what I mean. It really was properly bouncing down to the point where the little porch area doesn't have its own ground sheet or anything, and it was almost like a stream coming through. But give it its credit, and it's what is it now? It's 3 years old now, the tent. It's had quite a bit of use. Didn't let a drop in, and at some point I am going to have to replace it. And I've had my eye on some things like Redvers and all that sort of stuff, but they're bloody expensive. And I have to say, the way this thing has performed, it would certainly give me confidence to buy another Coleman. whichever model they now use, whichever superseded the Tatra 3. I don't know what it is, but yeah, so that, if you can pick one up new, old stock, or even second-hand, hardly used, you probably get them for not a lot of money, and they're well worth it. The next thing I want to mention, I did a couple of videos a few weeks back, and I will get around to putting them on. I tested, so I've got a new lid, the Shoei Neotec flip front lid, and I tested the Senna setup with it, with a boom mic and the wired mic. Got the wired mic in at the minute, so I'm hoping it works well. I've sort of tried to reposition it, and hopefully it'll stay in place and work as it should. But firstly, I'm selling the Senna. That's going again. It's the second one I've had, and they're alright. They're good bits of kit, you know. They've got loads of options, as I've explained before, but I think for me it's perhaps just a few too many options, to be honest, and because I use it so infrequently, I end up forgetting how to use the bloody thing, because it's all done with a sequence of button pushing and things like that. And the second thing, I'm still not happy with the sound quality. I know it's a bit of a jack of all trades, but you would think that Senna, being the company they are, that do all the intercoms, and which get rave reviews for sound quality and people speaking on the phone and all that sort of stuff. This 10C, the music is still not loud enough when you're on the bike. I can't hear it. It's better with this Neotec because you take sort of little ear pads out where the speakers go, so it is better, but it's still not great. And the sort of the quality of the sound on the recording, sometimes it's great. It comes really clear. There's no wind noise, no rustling. Other times there's really annoying rustling, or the mic seems to drop out in volume and things like that. So it's going to go. I'm going to replace it with something else. I don't know what yet, so it's going to be probably a while before I put any more videos on. Whether I'll get a GoPro or one of the Drift Ghost cameras, I'm not sure. They seem to have their issues as well, so we'll see. I'll probably end up going with a GoPro. They seem to be the tried and tested camera of choice, really. Certainly the setups that I've seen that people have, you know, the serious vloggers on YouTube, the sound quality always seems to be really good with them. So I'll probably invest in one of them at some point. And onto the Neotec really briefly. I don't want to labour this video too much. In one of the other videos that I did, the first ones, I was mentioning the size and the fact that Shoei and a lot of other manufacturers do their sizing, so they effectively miss a half size out. And I'm a 57 centimetres, so I need to get a 57 to 58 because the 55 to 56 is too small, whereas the Schuberth do 56 to 57. It's the other way. They do the other half sizes, which is pretty much a perfect fit. I explained in the other video why I chose the Neotec anyway. I'm not going to go into that here, but what I did was I found a replacement skull cap inner. The little, there's different padding obviously in the helmet, your cheek piece and stuff like that, but they do a half size down skull cap. I think the standard one is either 5 or 9 mil thick, and you can get one that's 13 mil thick, which is what I got. And I've fitted that, and I have to say, perfect fit now. Absolutely over the moon with it. it's what it should have been originally. In my view, you should be able to specify that as standard. I can't quite get my head around why helmet manufacturers as big as Shoei and RI, given how much the helmets cost in the first place, why they don't offer that option. It would be nothing to them to fit. It's a little piece of bloody foam, for God's sake. It can't be that much to manufacture. So it's certainly not beyond them to offer the different sizes of standard, because you just take out the standard skull cap and put the thicker one in. So anyway, it's cost me 40 quid, which has brought the price of the helmet pretty much up to where the shoe berth was anyway. But as I said in the other videos, the reason I chose the Shoei really was because I didn't really want another peak, and the Shoei just felt that bit better built to me. So all's well that ends well, I suppose. It's a bit of a bummer that you have to fork out an extra 40 quid to get it to fit right, but there you go. Get it changed, Shoei and RI and all you other people. So I know it's a bit dull riding wise, sat behind this Audi, but the bike's loaded up. I've got my panniers and a roll bag on the back as well, so that's my excuse. And I'm chatting away. I don't really want to be racing this bloke. So that's it. I'm on my way to Adventure Bike Shop. At some point I might do another video. In fact, I'll cover that and what I think of the place. I'll do another one. I'll do a tabletop review of the Shoei when I get a minute in the next week or two, and I'll just mention the Adventure Bike Shop then and just see what I think of it. And it looks good. Most people who've bought from them say they're quite good, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. So that's your lot. Bit of a random one this morning. Just a couple of different topics. Tents, helmets, action cameras, as you do. So wherever you are, take it easy, enjoy the sun, ride safe, and I'll catch you when I've got another camera. See you.